I never thought I'd be the kind of person who breaks a family apart with 3 sentences. But here I am, sitting on my porch at 3 a.m., nursing a lukewarm coffee, replaying the exact moment I became that person. My name's Jake. I'm 34. I teach high school history in Des Moines, which feels like a cosmic joke. I spend my days talking about revolutions, betrayals, and the cost of truth. Yet I spent months lying by omission to the one person who's never lied to me. My brother Tyler. We weren't just siblings. We were survivors. After Mom died when I was 12, Dad turned into a ghost who paid bills and forgot birthdays. Tyler, at 14, became my protector, my co-pilot, the one who stayed up with me during thunderstorms and lied to teachers when I got sick from grief. He believed in doing right, even when it hurt. Especially then. He met Sarah at a bookstore in Cedar Rapids 5 years ago. She was reshelving poetry. He was buying a biography of Lincoln for Dad. They talked for 2 hours. He called me that night and said, "Jake, I think I just met my person." I believed him. She was kind, sharp, and laughed like wind through open windows. At their wedding, I gave a toast about loyalty and second chances and meant every word. They tried for kids for years. 3 miscarriages, 2 rounds of fertility drugs, countless silent car rides home from the clinic. I watched Tyler hold Sarah after each loss, whispering, "We'll get there," even when his hands shook. Then, last January, the pregnancy test turned pink. He called me sobbing. "It's real, Jake. We're going to be parents." He painted the nursery himself. Soft gray walls, a hand-painted night sky on the ceiling with glow-in-the-dark stars. He bought tiny socks in every color and lined them up like jewels in a glass jar. When baby Leo was born, healthy, loud, perfect, Tyler held him like he was holding redemption. "My son," he kept saying. "My boy." And that's when the guilt started eating me alive. Because 6 months before Leo was conceived, I walked into the garage during a family barbecue looking for jumper cables. Instead, I found Sarah and Cody, our cousin, Tyler's blood, pressed close near the workbench. Not kissing, not undressing, but close enough that the air between them hummed with something unspoken. Her forehead on his shoulder, his hand low on her back. They jumped apart when they saw me. Sarah's face went pale. Cody mumbled something about checking the oil. I said nothing, just grabbed the cables and left. I told myself it was grief, that she was fragile after the miscarriages, that Cody was just being supportive. But then Leo was born with Cody's hazel eyes, gold-flecked, intense, the same cleft in his chin, the same curl in his hair at the nape. Tyler has warm brown eyes, a round jaw, straight hair. Genetics don't lie. People do. I carried it like a stone in my chest. Every time Tyler called Leo my son, every time he posted photos with captions like "Proud Dad," every time he sang off-key lullabies in the middle of the night, I wanted to believe it was nothing. But silence began to feel like complicity. Then came Leo's first birthday. Balloons, a lion-shaped cake. Tyler in a world's best dad, apron flipping burgers. During his toast, he raised his glass, voice breaking. "To my wife, my heart, and to my son, Leo James, my greatest joy, my forever purpose." I nearly vomited. Later, I found Sarah by the recycling bins, smoking, something she hadn't done in years. She looked hollow. I didn't plan to say anything, but the words tore out of me. "Does he know?" She didn't pretend not to understand. Just whispered. It was one night. After the second miscarriage. I was empty. Cody was there. It meant nothing. "Nothing," I said. "Tyler's raising a child that isn't his. That's not nothing. That's his whole life." She begged me to stay quiet. Said she'd tell him herself, just needed time. "He'll leave. He'll take Leo. I can't lose them both." I believed her, or wanted to. So I waited. 2 more months. Watching Tyler teach Leo to clap, cry when Leo said duh, carry him on his shoulders like he was carrying the sun. And then, last Sunday, at another family barbecue, Tyler handed Leo to me. "Hold your nephew," he said, smiling. But as I looked into those hazel eyes, so like Cody's, so unlike Tyler's, I felt like I was holding a beautiful, breathing lie. I handed Leo back gently. "Tyler, can we talk?" In the shed. He followed, still smiling, wiping sauce off his hands. I didn't soften it. Just said, "Leo isn't yours. Sarah and Cody. It happened before she got pregnant. I saw them. And Leo. He's Cody's." The color left his face. Not anger first. Disbelief. Then devastation. He sat on an old crate, head in his hands. All this time, I nodded. I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner. He stood slowly, brushed off his jeans, walked back to the party like nothing happened. 10 minutes later, he was packing a duffel bag. Sarah screamed. Cody showed up, confused, then furious. Tyler didn't yell, just said, I need space, and drove off. Now, 3 weeks later, he's in a motel. Sarah says I destroyed everything. Cody says I betrayed family. Dad won't look at me. And Leo? He's still Leo, laughing, babbling, reaching for toys, completely unaware that his existence just cracked our world in half. I don't know if I did the right thing. Maybe I should have stayed silent. Maybe truth isn't always mercy. But every time I imagine Tyler spending the next 18 years loving that boy as his own, building a life on a foundation of sand, I can't unsee it. Since that day, I've driven past Tyler's motel twice. Both times, his truck was gone. I called once. He didn't answer. Texted, I'm not mad at you. I just need to figure out who I am now. That hurt more than yelling ever could. Sarah moved back in with her parents in Dubuque. She sent me a long email, part apology, part accusation. Said she was going to tell Tyler, when Leo was older, that she thought she could make it right over time. That she loved Tyler more than anything. But that night with Cody was a moment of weakness she couldn't take back. She asked if I'd keep seeing Leo. He still loves you, she wrote. He doesn't know any of this. I haven't replied. Cody's avoiding me at work. He's a mechanic at the same auto shop where I get my oil changed. Last week, he glared at me like I'd kicked his dog. I get it. From his side, I'm the snitch who blew up his cousin's life and maybe cost him a son he never knew he had. But here's what no one's saying. Tyler deserved to know. Not for the sake of drama, not to punish Sarah, but because he's the kind of man who builds his life on honesty. He would have chosen to love Leo anyway. Maybe, but he should have had the choice. Instead, he was handed a script and told to play the role of father while the real story played out in whispers and glances. Last night, I dreamed I was back in that garage. Only this time, I spoke up. I said, Sarah, what are you doing? And she turned to me, tears in her eyes, and said, It's too late to fix it, Jake. But it wasn't too late then. It's just too late now. I keep thinking about the way Tyler used to tuck Leo into that star-painted crib, whispering, Sleep tight, buddy. Daddy's right here. The tenderness in his voice wasn't performative. It was real. And that's what guts me the most. His love was genuine, even if the truth behind it wasn't. So yeah, I broke something. Maybe beyond repair. But I couldn't keep pretending that silence was kindness. Sometimes, the cruelest thing you can do is let someone live a lie they'd never choose for themselves.